It is a crucial time for Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. No trust vote will begin in some time. If anything, the last few days have shown that Imran Khan has a loyal base at home. On one command, his supporters appear out of thin air, and they do exactly what the Prime Minister says. On the eve of the no-confidence vote, Imran Khan called on his people to take to the streets, chant slogans against lawmakers who oppose the PTI government, and start an anti-US sentiment. Hours later, this happened. Hundreds rallied in Karachi, chanted slogans, held banners and raised native water pails. All this to show that Imran Khan still has support on the ground.
सिर्फ इस बात पे एहतजाज कर रही है कि अगर जब तक पाकिस्तान में बेज़मीर बेशरम लीडर मौजूद हैं, पाकिस्तान अमेरिकी गुलामी से आज़ाद नहीं हो सकता। इमरान खान अपनी लड़ाई नहीं लड़ रहा, इमरान खान इक़्तिदार की लड़ाई भी नहीं लड़ रहा, वज़ारत उस्मा की लड़ाई भी नहीं लड़ रहा। इमरान खान सिर्फ पाकिस्तान की सालमियत, पाकिस्तान की खुद मुख्तारी की लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं कि हम एक आज़ाद मुल्क हैं, हम बनाना रिपब्लिक नहीं है।
But today, public support cannot help Imran Khan sustain in power. He needs lawmakers on his side, which is why last night Pakistan Prime Minister hosted a dinner for his party members. About 140 MNAs attended the dinner and 15 were missing. Many are seeing this as a litmus test for what is actually going to happen today in the parliament. Meanwhile, opposition parties have also held a private meeting at the Sindh House. The opposition has been rattled by Imran Khan and his allies calling for protests. Leader of opposition in the National Assembly, Shehbaz Sharif, requested that security level in Pakistan's capital should be raised, following which Islamabad was put under level red security. In a separate incident, PPP chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari also said that if the ruling government tried to stop any member from entering the Parliament, then there will be severe consequences and Article 6 of the Constitution will come into play. Well, this is news coming in right now. Pakistan Prime Minister Khan is set to address the country. Khan has summoned the state media at his residence once again. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan is set to address the country ahead of the no-confidence motion which has been delayed in Parliament. Khan has summoned the state media at his residence at this moment. So we await to see what the Prime Minister has to say, and we understand that the no-confidence vote and the no-confidence motion has been delayed in Parliament, which was supposed to start at 11:30 in the morning. Now it has been delayed. We do not know why this delay has been put in place in Parliament, but we'll still await to see if the no-confidence vote will still go ahead. But right now, the Prime Minister, Imran Khan, is set to address the country and has summoned the state media at his residence. So we'll have to wait and see what he has to say. We understand that the Pakistan Parliament has delayed the no-confidence vote and the no-confidence motion. For now, we do not know what is the reason for the delay. The no-confidence motion or the vote was supposed to take place at 11:30 in the morning, but it has now been delayed, and we were also expecting the Prime Minister to head to the National Assembly, but right now he has summoned the state media at his residence in Islamabad and is expected to address the country any moment from now. This is way ahead of the no-confidence motion. And once again, we have to tell our viewers that the no-confidence vote was supposed to take place at 11:30, but it has now been delayed. We do not know, we do not have any information as to why this vote has been delayed. And the Prime Minister was expected to head to the National Assembly, but now he's called or summoned the state media to his residence and is supposed to address the country any moment from now. We also understand that the Speaker of the Pakistan National Assembly has arrived in the Parliament. Probably this is why the vote was delayed, but we still do not have more information about why the vote was delayed. Again, this vote was supposed to take place at 11:30 a.m., but this has been delayed once again, and the Prime Minister says that he is expected to address the country in any moment from now. He's summoned the state media at his residence in Islamabad. And joining us right now is Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik for the very latest. Anas Malik, good to see you, and it's a crucial day for Pakistan. Probably you can start by telling us what's the latest at this moment. We understand that the vote has been delayed. Do we know the reasons for the delay?
Well, Eric, this delay is expected. It always happens. It's quite of a norm here in Pakistan. The session, as you were throwing it to me, at 12 local time, about 42 minutes of delay from its initially scheduled time has begun. It has formally started. As I talk to you, the recitation of the Holy Quran is currently ongoing. The Deputy Speaker, Qasim Suri, is the one who is chairing this National Assembly session. It's going ahead right in front of the hall that I'm in, but due to the regulations that bar media from broadcasting from inside, therefore we have to broadcast from outside. Now, the speaker is currently inside the assembly as I talk to you. Inside the house, but he's not present inside the session. Therefore, the deputy speaker is currently chairing the session. Now, as I talk to you, the government treasury benches, they are chanting slogans that who can save Pakistan, and then they are chanting slogans in favor of the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan. In the guest gallery, we have the Chief Minister of Sindh, Murad Ali Shah. We have former Prime Minister Yusuf Zaglani, who also is a senator as well. We have Shahid Rahman from Senate from the Pakistan People's Party, and others as well. In order to avoid any collusion or any scuffle, there have been the number of sergeant at arms that have been posted inside the assembly, inside the hall, are double or triple the amount. I spoke to the Pakistani foreign minister a short while back, and he has said that the Turkish foreign minister has telephoned him, and Turkey stands with Pakistan that they would want the democratic process and the democratic government of Imran Khan to continue and complete its 5-year term. Eric?
Malik, we do understand that the Pakistan Prime Minister was supposed to head to the National Assembly, but now he's called that off and summoned the state media to his residence. Do we know why?
Eric, before I answer your question, there is a news item that's coming in that the Pakistani Prime Minister has summoned resignations from his member parliaments, and 123 member parliaments have submitted resignations to them. Now, it is unclear whether these resignations that have been submitted as per sources, will they be submitted before the Speaker of the Assembly or not? That is a critical question. To my left is the Prime Minister office. It's not clear probably in the camera's vision, but what we understand is that a session of the Pakistani state broadcaster has been summoned by the Prime Minister, and we expect that a public address is likely to happen as well. It is still unclear, but one thing that we are very certain of is, as we speak, the session is ongoing, and sources claim that the Prime Minister has asked for submission of resignations to him from his partymen. There are a total number of 155 who are currently in the House. Eric?
Is the Prime Minister supposed to be in this session?
No, it's not necessary for the Prime Minister to be in this session, because the onus of responsibility at this point of time lies on the opposition to prove that they have the numbers to make the no confidence motion a success. Therefore, it is not necessary for the Prime Minister to be present. In fact, it is not necessary for the Treasury benches to even be there for this session, because the onus currently lies on the opposition to show that, yes, they have the magic number of 172 as it's being claimed, and then they can probably claim stake in the government. So as we speak, we saw the announcement from the Pakistani Prime Minister yesterday, where he had said that he would be coming to the House, but I was outside his chamber as well. There is Prime Minister security that is there, considerably more security that is there. But the Prime Minister himself, Mr. Imran Khan, he, as we speak, is not present inside the Assembly, nor inside the Parliament itself. Eric?
Malik, what does the prospects look like for Imran Khan? Is he worried? Is he confident that he's actually going to win this vote?
Well, he's visibly confident, but if we talk to you about the numbers, in the number games, he's far behind. And that is a cause of concern. That is the main problem. Regardless of how much confident he would sound, his body language would be, the case is, the fact of the matter is that he does not have the numbers. As I talk to you, the Pakistani national anthem is being played just before the formal commencement of the session, and on the number game, the Pakistani Prime Minister does not have the numbers. 165 is what his coalition currently has, out of which 155 are his members, with the dissidents counted. 176 is what the opposition is claiming without dissidents. 172 is the magic number. So visibly, the Pakistani Prime Minister does not, and I repeat, does not have the numbers. But he sounds very confident. He's been saying and repeating time and again that he has the numbers, and he will pull a surprise, as it's being said. I asked the Pakistani Foreign Minister a very short while back whether or not what to expect with this surprise, and he told me that we have to wait and watch, but there is certainly a surprise rolled up their sleeves. Eric?
Malik, we did talk about scenarios. If the vote goes in favor of Imran Khan, or if the vote goes against Imran Khan, what next for the Prime Minister?
Eric, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question. Can you please repeat?
We were talking about scenarios, both scenarios, if the vote goes against the Prime Minister or if the vote goes in favor of the Prime Minister, what next for Imran Khan?
Well, in case if the vote goes against the Prime Minister, then he's out. Essentially, the cabinet comes into immediate seizure, and the House would have to elect a new leader of the House in the next 4 sessions. Or it's being said that it can be done in the next session itself. And if he survives, then he survives. But if he survives, then there are speculations or rather hints that he will probably go for a dissolution of the Assembly and call for early elections. Now, as I talk to you, what's happening inside is that the questionnaire has been opened, and the Pakistani Information Minister has been given the floor to talk, and he is currently talking as I talk to you. So therefore, the session is ongoing now. And I'll give you another update. Why the Speaker is not chairing the session is because there is a no confidence motion against him that has been submitted in the morning, and therefore he is trying to avoid a controversy. Therefore, he himself is not chairing the session, and rather the Deputy Speaker is chairing the session. Eric?
What is the mood in Pakistan right now? Because I know there is a lot of anxiety between in Pakistan right now ahead of this no confidence vote. What are Pakistanis saying about this vote?
Well, over the past few days, Imran Khan has, sorry, pardon me on that. Imran Khan is known for building narratives, and he has successfully built this narrative that there is a larger conspiracy against him, and that's the reason, as a reason of which he's being ousted from power, and that the international powers don't want him to be here in Pakistan, and that is the reason.
Anas Malik,
that is the reason.
Sorry to cut you short. Let's just head to the National Assembly and listen in to what is going on there.
स्पीकर, अगर हम गैरतमंद कौम हैं तो ये तमाशा नहीं चल सकता। मैं सिर्फ ये कहूंगा कि हम पे जो गुजरी वो गुजरी, मगर है शबे हिजरा, मेरे इश्क तेरी आश्क का आकबत सवार चले। रूलिंग इसके ऊपर आनी चाहिए स्पीकर साहब कि आर्टिकल 5 के ये मुतलाज़िम है क्या नहीं है। पहले आप इसकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनैलिटी तय करें, फिर आगे बढ़े।
वज़ीर-ए-आज़म पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ अपोजिशन ने अदम-ए-एतमाद की तहरीक 8 मार्च 2022 को पेश की थी। अदम-ए-एतमाद की तहरीक का आइन, कानून और रूल्स के मुताबिक होना जरूरी है। किसी गैर मुल्की ताकत को यह हक नहीं कि वो साजिश के तहत पाकिस्तान के अवाम की मुंतखब हुकूमत को गिराए। वज़ीर कानून ने जो नुकात उठाए हैं वो दुरुस्त है, वैलिड है, लिहाजा मैं रूलिंग देता हूं।
Well, it is D-Day for Pakistan. The political slugfest in Pakistan has reached its boiling point. As you can see, this is the Pakistan National Assembly. This is the Deputy Speaker who's chairing this vote, the no confidence vote against Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. So it's a do or die for him today, and the Parliament will decide his fate in a short while. The session has already begun, as you can see there, and the person who was speaking there was Jawad Chaudhry, who is the communication for Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan. And once again, the fate of Imran Khan would be decided shortly. What the opposition needs is support of 172 lawmakers. They claim to have support of at least 174, and the Prime Minister Imran Khan's party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, looks weaker than ever. Let's just give you the numbers. PTI and its allies, however, claim to have 164 lawmakers. The PTI alone has 155. As many as 15 PTI lawmakers are likely to jump ship and vote against the Premier. 172 is the halfway mark in the 342-seater National Assembly. The opposition now claims to have at least 174 lawmakers on its side, comfortably above the halfway mark. The joint opposition held a crucial meeting inside the Pakistan Parliament just before the voting on the no trust vote. There were 174 lawmakers present in that meeting, and this is live in the Pakistan National Assembly, and we believe there is a break right now. The Deputy Speaker was the one who was chairing this no vote in the National Assembly, but there seems to be a break. We do understand that the session has been adjourned in the Pakistan National Assembly. There will be no vote on the no confidence against Prime Minister Imran Khan, because we understand the session has been or stands adjourned in the National Assembly, and the Deputy Speaker was the one who was chairing that session, and it now remains adjourned. And Speaker says no foreign power can intervene in Pakistan. That is why he disallows voting on no confidence motion. Again, the Deputy Speaker has said that no foreign power can intervene in Pakistan, and that is why he has disallowed voting on no confidence motion in the National Assembly in Pakistan. So once again, this vote or this session remains adjourned. This is breaking news. The Deputy Speaker has adjourned the session on the no confidence motion against the Prime Minister Imran Khan. Once again, the Deputy Speaker has adjourned the session on the no confidence motion against Prime Minister Imran Khan. He says that no foreign power can intervene in Pakistan, and that is why he disallowed voting on the no confidence motion. And once again, this session remains adjourned in the National Assembly.
स्पीकर, हमें बताया जाता है, हमारे स्पीकर साहब को बताया जाता है कि पाकिस्तान से आपके हमारे ताल्लुकात का दारोमदार इस अदम एतमाद की कामयाबी पर है। और अगर यह अदम एतमाद कामयाब होती है तो यू विल बी फॉर, और इसमें दूसरे मुल्क के ऑफिशियल्स भी बैठते हैं। इस मीटिंग की तारीख क्या है? 7 मार्च। इस मीटिंग में हमारे सफीर को बताया जाता है कि इमरान खान के खिलाफ एक अदम एतमाद पेश की जा रही है। जनाब स्पीकर, 7 मार्च को यह बताया जाता है, अदम एतमाद उस वक्त तक पाकिस्तान में नहीं आती, 8 मार्च को आती है। इस वक्त तक पाकिस्तान में भी किसी को नहीं पता अदम एतमाद आ रही है। जनाब स्पीकर, हमें बताया जाता है, हमारे स्पीकर साहब को बताया जाता है कि पाकिस्तान से आपके हमारे ताल्लुकात का दारोमदार इस अदम एतमाद की कामयाबी पर है। और अगर यह अदम एतमाद कामयाब होती है तो यू विल बी फॉर, और इसमें दूसरे मुल्क के ऑफिशियल्स भी बैठते हैं। इस मीटिंग की तारीख क्या है? 7 मार्च।
Well, this was earlier today when the proceedings of the Pakistan National Assembly were underway, but unfortunately the Deputy Speaker adjourned the session. He says that no foreign power can intervene in Pakistan, and that is why he disallowed voting on the no confidence motion. And again, the session remains adjourned. We were expecting the Prime Minister Imran Khan to head to the National Assembly, but again he called that off and summoned the state media broadcasters to his residence in Islamabad, and he is also expected to address the country in a short while from now. But as it remains right now, the session in the Pakistan National Assembly remains adjourned.
बाय अ फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट, और बदकिस्मती से जनाब स्पीकर, इसके साथ ही जनाब स्पीकर, इसके साथ ही हमारे कुछ इत्तेहादियों का और हमारे अपने 22 लोगों का ज़मीर जाग जाता है माशाल्लाह, और मामलात यहां तक आ पहुंचते हैं। यह फैसला अदम एतमाद का नहीं है, आर्टिकल 5 का है स्पीकर साहब, चेंज का बाय अ फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट, और बदकिस्मती से जनाब स्पीकर, इसके साथ ही इसके साथ ही हमारे कुछ इत्तेहादियों का और हमारे अपने 22 लोगों का ज़मीर जाग जाता है माशाल्लाह, और मामलात यहां तक आ पहुंचते हैं। यह फैसला अदम एतमाद का नहीं है, आर्टिकल 5 का है स्पीकर साहब, चेंज का बाय अ फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट, और बदकिस्मती से
Anas Malik is joining us on the line right now. Thank you very much for joining us, Anas Malik. Probably you can tell us more details about why the session has been adjourned.
Your question, the Prime Minister is to address the nation. That is confirmed, and this is what we were talking about earlier. Before I answer your question, this is the latest that has just come in, that the Pakistani Prime Minister is to address the nation today. What time, it is still unclear. Having said that, today it was high drama at the parliament itself, where the session as it began on the question, the Pakistani information minister was given the floor, and he spoke his heart out. He said that loyalty belongs to the state and to the party both, and that it's a party that enables those who run for the elections. Soon after that, we saw that the session was adjourned by the Speaker of the Assembly, by the Deputy Speaker of the Assembly, who was chairing the session, Amit, saying that this is an unconstitutional, unlawful session, primarily because this is through a foreign conspiracy. That's what the Speaker of the Pakistani Assembly maintained, and after that, the session was adjourned. Now, there was ruckus in the Assembly, as what we were expecting. We were talking about this earlier as well, on the process of the vote. And what I also can confirm is that the Pakistani Prime Minister has reportedly summoned resignations of his MPs as well. And a total of 123 MPs have resigned. As I talk to you, a total of 123 MPs have submitted resignations to the Pakistani Prime Minister as well. So therefore, it is the situation at this point of time. It remains unpredictable as we speak, and it remains pretty precarious. The circumstances are pretty precarious as well. Eric.
Absolutely, indeed, Anas. It is Mohammed Saleh here who's now speaking with you. Now, this is something that very few people perhaps expected. The Speaker there dubbing the session that is presently underway as unconstitutional. Is this something that the opposition was expecting?
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.